Listen up, Raiders. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and I'm pretty sure I deleted the intro that I originally did for this figure. So, you guys get to see the aftermath of the photo I did for the thumbnail. But today what we're working on is a Gao-inspired mechanical Spider Shark. Initially, what you would have saw here is the blue Frenzy figure that we did a review for, the Raw10 figure. And the legs initially hooked onto it, which all these were, is the Halloween Isle skeleton spiders that unscrewed everything and chopped off a couple of legs and then drilled some holes and hooked it into that. So that's essentially what you're going to be missing out of the rest of this. And then it was also, then I went and primered it. And because this is all hard plastic, you can just use spray can primer. It'll work good for you. So you don't have to do like any fancy tricks. So anyways, that's the explanation for this so far. If you guys haven't seen the Gao anime, there's in the anime there's these like little machines that hook up underneath the sea creatures. So there's a meme of the shark like bursting through the door, and they're just like normal, like essentially dead sharks like that are brought back to life or what have you. I haven't really seen too much of the anime. It's mainly like clips from YouTube, but I thought it was a cool look and definitely something that's very Halloween-esque, if you will. So wanted to do something to kind of harken back to that. But anyways, let's move on to the rest of the video.
Alright, so I'm going to be honest. I forgot where we left off, but this has been a minute. But we got Mr. Sharky here. He's primered up. Not the best primer job, but it would do. So next, we got to paint him. Also realize he's got some cobwebs inside of his mouth. Got to fix yeah here. Take a little brush over before we start painting him. But so what we're going to do is giving him a more traditional shark paint job. So it's going to have the light gray here, dark gray on the top. And then for all the other bits, like here where it used to be metal, we're going to make it metal again. Don't worry about it. Same with inside the mouth. And yeah, I think that's about it. And then I got to go get some tubing for the sides so that we can make I don't think we're going to do guts per se, because like the way it was in the anime, he had like guts spilling out. But the way I have this set up, I kind of want to have him still like robotic. So I'm going to get some like, definitely going to hook up like wires from this into the body here to kind of make it make sense that he's like running around. We also eventually at some point also got to make a little display base. So something to help keep him upright. Probably just going to be a dowel rod, to be fair. So sit on top of that. So yeah, pretty much a lot of painting. So we'll start with the airbrushing, and then we'll start like getting all his finer details accentuated. And then I'll sit here and figure out what I'm going to do about the stand here. Alright, so just to show you guys real quick. Cut a little piece of dowel rod. I'll end up painting this later. But this is just so I can, while it's on display, it's got something to kind of perch up on. But I'll sand it down, and then probably just make a match the body. Probably just make this metallic, but we got to clean up some of the cut marks from the saw, and then yeah, start painting. Alright, so I already started on it, but next I'm just adding some dark metallic gray to the metal bits, and then start adding all our dry brushing over top of it. But my base is going to be this dark metallic, as you guys can see, and then I'm going to go over every bit that I want to look metal, and then we'll accentuate it with a brighter color here in a bit. I'm really doing now is just doing some touch-ups. Cleaned up some of the white on the bottom here where I had some excess paint. And then it's kind of lightly like dry brushing over a couple of spots that I kind of removed too much paint from. Which can happen. Yeah, I probably should have cleared this before I put all this, started trying to put all the red on, but you live and learn. No, just what I'm doing here now is just kind of touching and going. Like, add a little bit to certain spots, realize I put too much there, try to fix it. Wash, rinse, repeat process until I get something I like. Yes, I think the rest of all I gotta do is just add some black to the nose and paint the eyes right quick, and we're pretty much done. At least with what I can do right now. So most of the rest of this, I gotta wait till I get some parts. I was kind of thinking about making the eyes red, but I kind of still want to have like a shark look to them. So all I'm going to be doing is take a little bit of this gloss black, dab the eyes with it, do the same for the other side. This side's going to be way harder because tiniest little hole here. I'm just kind of just adding some extra details on them, like color and the wires here, just to kind of offset the colors a little bit, because it's a lot of dark colors, and it's still gonna be a lot of dark colors, but the black and the silver will kind of contrast at least a little bit anyways. Alright, so now that we got the shark all painted, next what I will be doing is taking some stereo wires and connecting this to here, so he has like wires going into him to kind of make it look like that, like he's like firing them off like it's going through his body because of all the electrical parts. So I want definitely the front to be going into it, same with the back, and then parts of the sides. Now with some of the side bits I want to use different tubes, so I'll have to come back to that. But the main reason I'm also doing this too is to hide this seam line. So with the wires here, you won't see where it's not connected to the actual body, and it'll kind of hide everything. So I'm going to be just doing some drilling here in like the gills, having some of the cables go up into the gill sections, and then just parts of the body here and there. And then same with the back here too. Be kind of like wrap it around, just hooking in the parts. Mainly into the actual shark. I'm going to leave this part alone because it's the articulated section, so I don't really want to mess with that. And have this like hinder the posing, so it's mainly going to be just like hooking into this section and then parts of the underbody, and then again the gills. So got my Dremel, got my second smallest bit I have. I'm not 100% on the size, but the best way, figure it out how big you need. This is about the same size as the wire here, and I want it a little smaller because I'm actually going to be stripping this out. Just kind of show you guys one run. I'm just going to take this. Just want a little bit, because this will go into whatever hole I'm making, and then we will glue that into the body here. So what I'll do is I'm just going to drill some holes here. I'll do all my pilot holes, and then glue this in, and then figure out where I'm going to be hooking one each up, and then I'll cut it afterwards. So I got my hole in the gill here, got my hole on the bottom. I'm going to take this with some super glue, add a little bit of glue to the end here. Ooh. Insert this into the body. Once I got it decently in there, I'm just going to kind of hold it in with my finger. Take my spray, spritz it real quick. What this is, if you guys don't know, it's an accelerant for the glue. So it lets it cure in seconds, as I just ripped it out and it did absolutely nothing. So let's try that again. Figure out my size. It just kind of eyeballing it, but needs to be about here, and I maybe just want like a little extra hanging off. So I'm going to snip right there. And then strip this out. It's gonna be. I will say it's not gonna be the easiest thing to do. Set my shark down. Right about there. And just strip that. Put my glue on. Stick it into the hole I made on the side here. Maybe. So now he's got that going into the gill. And the same thing. Just take this. A little spritz. And then good to go. So now I'll come back as I'm not gonna sit here and show you guys every little one I put on here. But once I get it all set up, we'll come back, I'll show you the final results.
And the custom Gaio Shark is done. It's definitely a little bit of a learning process. That, and I gotta still get him a proper stand. For the most part, little plastic cup kind of works. That's probably what I'm just gonna be working with for now. But yeah, really loving the color scheme. God, like how many dry brush washes and washes I did over this guy. Shinji, you go lay on the couch. Anyways, forgot to take the collar off him. But you guys can see here, he's definitely got a lot of color variety on here because I kind of wanted it to look, especially on the top here, a little bit more like decaying, if you will. So I definitely wanted it to be a lot of different shades. So he's got a little bit of like the Jaws paint job going on, but then there's like browns and like grays with some more blues. Then you can see it's got like all the bloody patches here and stuff, just like it did on the original mold. This one, I had a really bad imperfection on the paint job. When I cleared it, I accidentally touched it and it peeled it off, so I tried to make it look like another scar spot. It gives a little bit more variety. And then he's got like the blood coming out of the gills with some more wires here. And then on the bottom here, you get all the tubes and all the wires going into the shark, just to kind of help convey that this is kind of what's controlling the shark, if you will, or helps the shark control the legs, whichever you want. Have the little tubes here, which again are just little straws that are glued into the shark. Then got some extra straws here for some pipage because wanted to try to hide the seam here a little bit better. So I actually used a couple of the extra little feet that I had on the back here and then connected some straws to those and then ran some wires into those just to give it a little bit more going on. Spider legs turned out nice. Like, it doesn't need the stand, but definitely over time, like, this is going to keep sagging and these are going to rub up against the paint because I can already tell, like, this part kind of already rubbed right back off. Thankfully, didn't take the paint off the shark, but these things don't like to hold the paint as well without having to sand it down, so definitely going to have to touch that up. I know there's one spot inside the mouth too I got to retouch up because some of the grays didn't get on the back there, but for the most part, it's done enough so I can show you guys the final product. But front of the mouth looks nice. Same with the dry brushing. Did a lot, what, 3 different colors here of different grays and silvers to get that look. Same with on the back here. Added some blacks for the wiring here. And then a few more different various colors to give it a little bit more variety for the metal sections. Same with the tail fin here. Has a few different washes and colorings going on with it. And can still pose around. Don't really have to worry about the paint scuffing too much, so he's got a little bit of play with them. And then for the eyes, just glossy black. Painted in the nose a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. But hopefully you guys enjoy this little Halloween custom. Wanted to make something a little bit scary this year, and I thought this would be kind of a cool little thing. Maybe we'll try to do something else next year. Maybe something more Godzilla related. Because maybe like a red would be kind of cool. But I'd have to figure out how the heck to go about that. But anyways, help us defeat this kaiju by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a Ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys like to keep up to date with the channel, donate, would greatly appreciate it. Because that definitely also helps to make more of these things a thing outside of just people sending stuff for doing commissions. Because this guy is literally just going to be sitting on my shelf. But anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.